Tonight on Denver 7 News at 10, a biting cold settles into Colorado. This holiday weekend, we're bracing for some of the lowest February temperatures in years.
But it's not slowing down the COVID vaccine rollout. One Colorado healthcare provider is gearing up for its biggest events yet.
Plus, denied his degree just hours before graduation.
It's giving me back everything I've earned. That's why I've never asked for anything more than I've earned, my degree and my commission.
The Colorado National Guard member locked in a decade-long legal battle with the Air Force Academy.
Also, using Democrats' words to defend former President Trump.
Me, I'm here to fight back.
Countless politicians have spoken of fighting for our principles.
Trump's defense team wraps up. Now senators will decide whether to convict. Tonight, we're taking a 360 look at the case.
All right, friends, you have a couple of choices this holiday weekend. You can hunker down or bundle up and brave the bitter cold. Good evening and welcome to Denver 7 News at 10. I'm Ann Trujillo.
And I'm Shannon Ogden. We're glad you're with us tonight. And if this is too cold for you, well, bad news, because we haven't hit the bottom yet.
No, Denver 7 Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson joining us. Mike, outdoor dining, probably not an ideal option for Valentine's Day?
No, it doesn't look like too good of a plan. We have a big range in temperatures right now, from 40 at Grand Junction and even as close as Salida, but it's 4 below zero up in Sterling and 6 above in Denver. Add the wind in there and it feels like on exposed skin. 24 below zero at Sterling, 14 below at Fort Collins, and 7 below in Denver. There is the cold air. It's actually moving back toward the west, so it'll spill up and over the mountains over the course of the weekend. Correct. There's also moisture coming in from the northwest, so we have a huge amount of color on the map. Avalanche watch, winter storm warnings, winter storm watch, snow advisories, wind chill advisories. Already some snow developing in the foothills to the west of Denver, and there will be more. So your weekend headlines: bitter cold air, metro snow, perhaps up to half a foot, heavier mountain snow, and dangerously cold wind chills.
He came to Colorado hoping to serve his nation.
I love this country.
But just hours before he was due to graduate from the Air Force Academy, everything changed.
I was literally kicked off.
Some people at the Air Force Academy have declared war on an American citizen.
His diploma gone, his honor called into question.
To this day, I'm considered an embarrassment to some members of my family.
Tonight, Chief Investigative Reporter Tony KOVALESKI shares one man's decade-long battle to restore his dignity and his reputation.
We made history going out there. It's something I'm never going to forget for the rest of my life, for sure.
Colorado's Army National Guard trusted Adam DERITO to defend our country. Whose broad stripes? To defend the red, white, and blue.
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
It kind of takes your breath away. I mean, you sit there and just go, this is what I'm defending.
Specialist DERITO was one of just a handful of Colorado Guardsmen sent to protect our capital and our democracy.
So help you God. So help me God.
At last month's presidential inauguration. A special assignment requiring the highest of security clearances.
Our presence there allowed everyone to come together and realize that we need to move on.
This is a tale of one man and a stark and significant contrast. Trusted by one branch of the military and betrayed by another.
In 2006, I was accepted to the Air Force Academy, and I came out here to my dream school.
4 years later, just hours before Cadet DERITO was scheduled to graduate.
It was the most crushing moment of my life, and it's a moment I'll never forget.
With his family in the stands, DERITO was stripped of his honor and his degree. At the 11th hour, told he would not graduate for violating Academy rules. Officially fraternizing with a subordinate.
It's like, there's no way this is happening. There's no way I'm not going to be an officer. There's no way I'm not going to go fly. And it hurt.
DERITO left the academy without a diploma. Instead, he walked away disgraced.
To be fair, was I a perfect cadet? Absolutely not. But did I do anything but your standard cadet would do in college? No, absolutely not.
The Air Force said his record was not worthy of graduating, becoming an officer, and joining the Air Force. DERITO calls it retaliation.
Essentially, you were thrown out of the Air Force Academy.
Yes.
Why?
The Air Force Academy has a history of retaliation against those who report sexual assault. When I was working as an undercover informant for the Office of Special Investigations, I've reported over 30 perpetrators of sexual assault and rape at the Air Force Academy.
The decision by the Air Force left DERITO on the hook for more than $200,000 in debt to the federal government for the cost of his 4 years at the Academy.
Luna, come on.
And the Air Force Academy attack on DERITO's character and credibility did not end there. 7 years later, a new discovery.
There are medical records that raise questions about your mental state.
I was weeks away from transferring and becoming a helicopter pilot and start training. And at that point in time, the Army said, we can't send you to helicopter training because the Air Force Academy has put multiple mental health diagnoses on your record.
And here's the medical record DERITO now questions, dated a full year after he left the Academy.
Impulse control disorder, personality disorder, narcissistic antisocial personality traits, for a doctor that I never met.
Some people at the Air Force Academy have declared war on an American citizen, Adam DERITO.
Fighting to regain his reputation, DERITO decided to hire a team of attorneys. Together, they filed this lawsuit against the United States of America.
I'm scratching my head. Help me understand what happened here.
I wish I had an answer. We can't figure it out.
DERITO's legal team challenged the validity of the mental health diagnoses. An Air Force board later ruled to correct the record, and this letter from the Department of Air Force specifically directs the removal of all of DERITO's mental health diagnoses.
The order was very clear from the Air Force. Take the diagnoses out of his records. Simple as that. And they did, but then they added new stuff in that now he can't get promoted again.
And that is the heart of this conflict. Specialist Adam DERITO was given a uniform and an assignment last month. Cleared and credible, asked to protect our democracy. At the very same time, he remains locked in a legal and political battle that has his credibility and his military career at a crossroads.
We need to fight this in the courts. We need to fight this politically going forward. This is a lifetime battle. We're just trying to get Adam what he earned.
I think I have proven to this nation that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to protect what it stands for. And I'm hoping that the Air Force Academy realizes that it made some mistakes in the past and that we're willing to move on beyond those and to make sure that what happened to me never happens to anyone ever again.
We reached out to the Air Force Academy and the U.S. Attorney's Office trying to understand why, after a decade, Adam DERITO's legal issues and requests for justice remain unresolved. Both declined our request for interviews, citing ongoing litigation. I'm Chief Investigative Reporter Tony Kovaleski.
Tonight, U.S. senators are weighing whether they should vote to convict former President Trump for incitement of insurrection. Trump's defense team wrapped its arguments today.
And our 360 coverage continues for you tonight. Trump's team focused on three major points. The trial lacks due process, it is unconstitutional, and the former president's words at a rally right before the riot were run-of-the-mill political speech. Lawyers showed a montage, in fact, of prominent Democrats using the word fight to make their point.
We're going to fight, and we're going to continue to fight.
I am going to be fighting. It's a word people use, but please stop the hypocrisy.
When it came time for senators to ask questions, House impeachment managers hit back. They contend the president's words had a clear effect on the mob gathered in D.C.
Insurgent after insurgent made clear they were following the president's orders. You saw us present that evidence of the insurgents who were there that day, who said, I came because the president asked me to come.
Now, tomorrow, both sides will make closing arguments. Then at that point, senators will vote whether to convict the former president. You can catch full coverage right here on Denver7 starting at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Tonight, a reminder of just how serious this pandemic is. The Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office says one of its officers is fighting for his life tonight due to complications from COVID-19. Sergeant Nate Kyleberg is on life support, and the family is asking for your prayers. And if you'd like to donate to help with his medical bills, you can find a link on the Sheriff's Office Facebook page.
Well, Kaiser Permanente says this weekend it is gearing up for the largest COVID vaccination event yet in our state.
Tomorrow and Sunday, staff set up appointments to vaccinate more than 19,000 Coloradans.
As Denver7 CB Cotton reports, there's rigorous planning to make sure not a single dose goes to waste.
For weeks, we've taken calls and received your emails about people 70 and older wanting the vaccine but finding appointments difficult to come by. But after this weekend, a total of 6,000 more people in that age category should be vaccinated.
We have worked really hard over the recent weeks to get a really well-functioning, smooth process in place.
That process should vaccinate 19,000 Coloradans over the weekend. Kaiser says it's the largest vaccine rollout the state has seen, but appointments are required.
We have two big events going on this weekend. One is geared towards the 70 plus population. 2
of the 16 locations will be devoted strictly to those 70 and older.
Our plan is to vaccinate 6,000 70 plus year olds on Saturday and Sunday.
The other goal?
Additionally, we have 14 sites across the Front Range, from the Loveland area up north all the way down to Pueblo, where we will be open this weekend to vaccinate up to 13,000 educators.
Kaiser Permanente has partnered with school districts to offer the appointments. The vaccine push will be entirely indoors.
So we have a plan in all of our medical office buildings to accommodate the volumes coming through this weekend.
A volume that will hopefully get Colorado a step closer to herd immunity. CB Cotton, Denver7.
Coming up, taking dangerous drugs off the streets.
Whether it's fentanyl, whether it's prescription drugs, whether it's heroin, we are losing people.
As overdose deaths spike, police uncover a major drug smuggling operation right here in Colorado.
Plus, avalanche danger in the backcountry. Why even well-known routes give no guarantee of safety this weekend.
And hope restored.
They're still good on this earth. They're still good amongst us.
Denver7 gives viewers step in to help after thieves swipe thousands of dollars worth of equipment from a local search and rescue crew.